Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel, or welcome back. In today's video, I will be showing you how I created this gorgeous 3-tier tray using Dollar Tree items and one item from Dollar General. I hope you enjoy this video, and if you do, please give me a big thumbs up. It really helps to support my channel. And if you are new, please consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. So for this tray, I'm going to be using some pieces from Dollar Tree and Dollar General, like I said. And the first item that I'm going to be using is this glass cup that comes from Dollar Tree in a pack of 4. And I'm just going to be using one of those as the base. A pizza pan from Dollar Tree. A pizza pan from Dollar General. Now this one was $4. And then the pie pan from Dollar Tree. And then I'm also going to be using 2 of these candlesticks. One is longer than the other, and they came from Dollar Tree as well. I'm also going to be using some E6000 hot glue, some rubbing alcohol, some Rust-Oleum semi-gloss white paint, and Krylon Fusion all-in-one satin black. So I'm going to begin by cleaning my glassware with the rubbing alcohol and making sure that that dries before I begin painting it. And I did also clean my pans with the rubbing alcohol, but you really have to make sure that completely dries as well before you paint it. So I'm just going to give it one good coat of the satin black, and this is how it looks when it has been completely painted. And I'm going to set that to the side and allow it to completely dry. Then I'm going to give my pans, I actually give them 2 coats, 2 light coats. So I'll put one light coat on, and then I'll put the second light coat on after that has dried to the touch. And then I'm going to let that set and completely dry before I flip those over. So once I get the 2 coats on the way that I like it to make sure it has good coverage, this is how it looks. And then let that completely dry before you turn it over and paint the back side. So just flip those over, and again, 2 light coats to get good even coverage. And this is how it looks once those have been painted and dried. Now let those completely dry, and then I'm going to use some triple thick crystal clear glaze that's made by Krylon, and I've already put it on the pan and allow that to dry overnight before I assemble the 3-tier tray together. So this is the large pizza pan that I purchased from Dollar General. I'm just going to flip that over so I can put my bowl on the bottom as the base. So I measured the center of the pan to decide where to put the bowl, but I actually find it better if you just kind of place your bowl on there and then measure out from the sides to make sure you get it nice and centered. So I'm actually going to be putting the bottom of the bowl, I'm going to be gluing that to the bottom of the pan. So I just place that on there, measure all the way around, make sure I have equal distance on all 4 sides so I can make sure it's centered, because I don't want it to wobble or, be off center. So I do measure things twice just to make sure. So once I make sure that's in place, I take my pencil and I draw around the base at the bottom so that when I pick the bowl up and apply the E6000 and the hot glue, I know where to place it back at. So I'm going to put a generous amount of E6000 on there. This is going to give it a nice, strong, permanent hold. And then I'm going to put some hot glue in the little places that I didn't put the E6000, just so that it will hold it in place until that E6000 sets up. So once I set my bowl in place, I do go back and measure it really quickly to make sure it is centered before that hot glue cools off. And then you want to press firmly and make sure the hot glue has dried before you flip that over. So now it is time to assemble the candlestick so that we can place our second tray. So I'm going to put the bottom of the candlestick on top of the large pizza pan, and again using the same process, measuring it to make sure it's center, taking my pencil and drawing the outside of it so I'll know where to place it once I put the glue on. So I do go ahead and attach this candlestick. This is actually the longer candlestick. I had 2, one was longer, one was taller than the other. So this is the taller candlestick. And I'm applying the bottom part of that again to the top part of the pizza pan. And then I'm going to make sure it's centered and press firmly so that that hot glue cools and it stays in place. Now the second tier is going to be the pizza pan from Dollar Tree. And since my candlesticks, the top parts are the same size, they're the same width, I'm just going to use my other candlestick to measure the bottom of the second pizza pan so that I'll know where to place that when I put it on top of the other candlestick. So this I'm just using for measuring purposes. If you don't have the same candlesticks, please make sure you measure that before you glue it down to the large pizza pan. So once I get that in place, I will go ahead and put my E6000 on the top of the candlestick as well as the hot glue, and then place the bottom part of the pan down on top of that candlestick. And then for the third tray, I do not put the candlestick on there yet. I'm just making my measurements so that I can make sure I have it centered on the top of the second pizza pan. And then I can take the top part of my candlestick and measure the bottom of the pie pan before I attach the candlestick to both pans. So now I'm just going to flip the pie pan over so that you can see the bottom of it and measure the top part of the candlestick to that pan as well, using the same process, just measuring the center, marking it with a pencil before I put the glue on. So you guys, if you are enjoying this video, please make sure to give me a thumbs up. And if you're new here, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my future videos. And if you like how this tray turned out, please let me know in the comments down below. I will show you once I get it completely assembled how I decorated it for fall. And please stay tuned to the end of this video because I have a bonus Dollar Tree DIY for you. So now I'm just going to attach my candlestick, the base, to the bottom of the, I put the glue on the bottom of the candlestick and then attach that to the pizza pan, and then the same process with the pie pan. Now you do want to make sure that once you assemble this, that you let it set completely overnight before you decorate it. You want that E6000 to set up and be nice and secure so that it doesn't come apart. And this is how I decorated it for fall. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And now for the bonus Dollar Tree fall DIY. I made this cute little tray for fall using Dollar Tree items. So I'm going to start off with this wooden tray, and I'm going to give it one good coat of my classic white chalk paint. This is made by Krylon, and I do paint the entire tray, the outside and the inside as well. And I think this turned out so cute. It's very neutral, and I really like the way it looked on that tray. So you'll have to let me know what you think about this little bonus DIY. So once that paint has completely dried, I'm going to take some of these poster stickers that came from Dollar General, and I'm going to spell out the word fall, and I'm going to go ahead and assemble that in the center right-hand side of the tray. Now I originally hand wrote hello fall, like hello on the side of the stickers, and you'll see that in just a minute, but I didn't like the way my paint marker did. It didn't give me those nice little crisp lines, so I come up with a little way to cover that up that I like better. See, there's the little hello, and the lines, I didn't like the way it looked. So now I'm going to use one of these little mini pumpkins that come on a package of 3 from Dollar Tree, and they have the little clips on the bottom, so I've already removed the clip, and I'm going to paint the stem in my Waverly chalk paint in the color plaster, and then I'm going to paint the pumpkin in the Waverly chalk paint in the color celery. And I love the way this color looks. It's very light and it's very neutral toned, and it's very beautiful. So I'm going to paint the entire pumpkin with the celery color, and I'm going to set that to the side and allow it to completely dry. So to cover up my little hello that I wrote in my sign, I'm going to use one of these little chalkboard picks that come in a package from Dollar Tree, and then I'm also going to use my oil-based white Sharpie paint marker, and I'm just going to hand write hello on there. And I like the way this turned out better. Just the lines were very clean, and my little black paint. See, my oil-based paint Sharpie broke in the color black, so I didn't like the way the paint marker was working when I hand wrote that. So I'm just going to cut this down so that it'll fit in my tray nice and cute. And then I'm going to put my stem back into my pumpkin. And then to put a little bit of extra on the back of the little chalkboard sign, I'm going to cut some burlap ribbon that also came from Dollar Tree. And I cut it just slightly larger than the chalkboard sign. I folded it in half and then folded it in half again. And I'm going to cut some little dovetails on each side so that when I unfold it once, it'll have cute little dovetails. So I'm just going to fold that back in half, and there's the cute little dovetails. I'm going to secure this to the back of the chalkboard sign with some hot glue, and then I'm going to glue that into my little tray with some hot glue as well. And I kind of put it to the side, and that's kind of cute. I really like how that one looks. Now I'm going to use some of these wood stems. They come in a bag from Dollar Tree. I'm going to use 3 of those. One of the little tiny pine cones that comes off a floral pick from Dollar Tree. And then, of course, the little pumpkin that we just painted. So I'm going to hot glue the pumpkin and then the 3 stems and the little pine cone into the little tray. And this is how she turned out. She's so pretty. You'll have to let me know what you think if you guys really like this little bonus DIY. I want to thank you so much for watching. Please take care, and I will see you next time.